Hey, good morning. Dr. Bob Flower with your Achievement Forum report. Today's March 19th. Okay, so we've been talking about the notion of natural intelligence, of which there are 13, and we all possess them. And last week we discussed polarity. Now, today what I want to do is I want to show you how natural intelligence integrates with any and every notion and concept um, that one can think of. And what we're going to do today is we're going to connect polarity with the three planning intelligences that we discussed: awareness, concepts, and expression, okay, or characterization. All right. So, uh, awareness, the polarity of with awareness. What happens is uh, when opposition enters into your awareness, it presents a situation where you're shunning things. You're blocking realities. You're only looking at a particular aspect. And think about this in the sense of having an argument or having a discussion with somebody where there are opposite views. Okay, that's that's the polarity of awareness. So, what is important in the natural intelligence thinking is that you open your awareness so that you're taking in everything, and that is critical. We're going to talk about the notion of taking everything in when we discuss our organizational intelligences. Okay, but for now, the whole idea is the greater one's awareness and focus, the more information they're going to be able to take in, and the more intelligent and the greater the clarity they're going to have towards the issue at hand. Okay? All right. Now let's go on to concepts, which is the second of our natural planning intelligences. And what works here, and when I adapted this immediately changed my whole business life and personal life, but mostly my business life around totally. Okay? When you believe something, you're locked into it. Okay? You then, what happens is the mind tends to look forward to things that are going to support your belief system. Right? That's not right. That's not good. Uh, as versus perception, okay? Perceive, not believe. The difference between the two is this: perceptions are things that are temporary. They could last forever, but basically they're temporary. They're things that you see at the time and you have an opinion about, let's say, all right? But you're not totally locked into it. It's not written in stone. And again, insofar as your natural intelligence thinking is concerned, that's what you want. You want to have something that you're going to be able to look at and have flexibility about it, and change the way you're looking at it if the facts presented to you warrant it. Okay. Um, Now there is a danger to this if you're not if your awareness is not totally open, and that is that you just keep changing your perceptions all the time, which works sometimes, but it can result in a very flaky, flighty type of mentality. But if you're focused and you're opening your awareness, that won't happen. Okay. Now, again, we have the concept of the three planning intelligences: the A plus B equals C. What you're aware of and what you believe about that you're aware of or focusing on will always equate to how you express that. Okay, so the expression can very well be the notion of evil or rejection or negativity or opposition. So when you're engaging this, keep this in mind that if it's opposition, for instance, that somewhere, and you can experiment with this. This is fun, believe me. If you're in a position of opposition, look at your concepts about what it is. Look at your awareness. And by the way, if let's, for argument's sake, say that there's a correct way in this particular argument that you have. All right, you're being able to understand this and focus on your awareness and your concepts will give you insight into what the other person is thinking, how they're thinking. What is it that they're focusing on? And what is it that they believe about that? And if you keep exploring this, this is going to give you the key to how they're thinking and the direction in which they're going in. All right, so this is critical in resolving conflicts. All right, dealing with negativity or the notion of evil. So I know a lot of people who are very religious have problems with this because they believe that evil is real, and it is real, but it's self-induced. That's the key. That's key. If you allow it in by virtue of whatever your concept is and your awareness, it's going to have an effect or an impact on your life. If you find a way in which to build it into your belief system and your awareness, where it has its place, such as what we're trying to say here, okay? While it has an opposition to it, it also has a value to it, because you become more tolerant of the other side without having to accept it and without having it to impact you, okay? And it enables you to deal with it better, okay? And if any of this sounds conflicting or confusing, please go to our website, bobflower.com, and we'll be glad to discuss it or deal with any questions you have. Now, someone had posed a question last week that I want to address, and I will do that with the achievement forum. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask, and we'll deal with them. And that is our potential and achievement, is it genetic? And the answer to that question is yes, potential achievement is genetic. However, that's not really the right question. The question is, do we all have intelligence? And yes, we do. We all have natural intelligence. We have 13 of them. Some of them greater, some of them lesser. Some of them we have, genetic in the sense of IQ. Some of them genetic in the sense of emotional. We know how to deal with emotions better than a lot of people. Some of them in the sense of awareness. Some people have greater awareness. Some people have better ways of conceiving things, visualizing things. That's what this is right here. All right, and some people have outstanding intelligence, natural intelligence, in the sense of expression, their communication skills, for instance, or the way they act, the way they carry themselves. Okay, so are genetics involved? Yes, genetics certainly are involved, but not in the typical standard way. Is the ability to achieve your potential, is that involved? Yes, it certainly is. But all of these things relate to our 13 natural intelligences, which we all possess. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, any issues, let's hear about them. I'm glad to discuss them and get them out and try and elaborate on them. Next week we're going to talk about polarity again, as compared to or connected to the four functional intelligences, and we'll cover both of those and see how polarity interacts on all of those levels, and what you can do to improve your station and your thinking. And by the way, one last notion here. While we have our 13 natural intelligences, we also have our natural intelligence thinking, and that's the way your 13 interact with each other, and your awareness and concepts, especially your concepts. And we'll talk about, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just, chock full of connection with all this in the methodology of understanding oneself and their environment. Okay? Dr. Bob Flower, have a great week. Talk to you next week.